Gentlemen, I gave you guys your instruction in the dressing room. I expect a clean, fair fight, start to finish, and protect yourself at all times. Te di las instrucciones en el camerino, que en una pelea libre y protéjase siempre. Let's do this. Good luck.
Kazakhstan, and fought for his native country as a 2016 Olympian, but he lives and trains in Southern California, in Oxnard, California. He's with Buddy McGirt, and Buddy is very high on what the future holds for Alimkhanuly. Goes right to the body with a left hand against Correa.
Stop! Stop!
Now, for some reason, it looked like Correa is a little dry to me. His back, and really not a lot of sweat. Like he hasn't warmed up. He threw a left hand to begin with and caught Alimkhanuly coming in.
Two southpaws matching up here. Correa, the 4-year pro from Argentina. This is his first fight in the United States.
And Tess, you said two southpaws. A lot of times we don't get two southpaws. You get the orthodox fighter in the southpaw. But, you know, it's like the southpaw looking in the mirror. You know, it's very uncommon for two southpaws to face one another. So things may be a little difficult, but the amateur experience, I believe, of Alimkhanuly is going to serve him in this fight.
Alimkhanuly's doing the right thing right now. We talked to Correa yesterday, and if you read his bio, he tells you right straight away that my father, he taught me how to box. I don't want to slug. I don't want to do all that. And Alimkhanuly also likes to box, but he knows that he's facing a boxer tonight, so that's why he's pressing. He's doing the right thing in this first round.
Another reason why Alimkhanuly is pressing is because he doesn't feel threatened. Correa doesn't have punching power. And a lot of times when guys don't feel the power from their opponent, they're willing to walk through punches and take more risk.
I don't even think Correa landed a shot yet, Tim. How does he know he doesn't have?
Oh, there's a big left hand from Alimkhanuly that scores the knockdown with a minute to go here in round 1.
7. Hey, ¿está bien? Anda para acá. ¿Quieres seguir? Dame. Box.
8-0, 4 knockouts, looking to make a splash here with TV coverage before our world title fight. Patiently goes to the body.
Bringing everything behind the jab, Tess.
Nearly caught him with the right hook right there.
Ton of fundamental flaws from Correa. You know, you got to keep the opposite hand up. If you're going to throw a shot, keep the opposite hand up. And when he was knocked down, you can see clearly he had dropped his hand.
Big first round for Janibek Alimkhanuly. Getting the final instructions from Buddy McGirt, former world champion himself. We asked Buddy, how do you deal with the translation? Got a guy from Kazakhstan. He said, listen, he gives me the look. He knows. And if there's trouble, I look to his brother.
He said he understands boxing terms.
That's a whole language.
Yeah, universal language of boxing.
See Correa trying to get going. He didn't get a chance to even think, much less land a punch in that first round. He's got to start getting going. He's got to get his engine revving, or this fight will not last long.
See, the interesting thing is that Correa is landing the straight left hand. There's no pop on it, but he's still able to land it because Alimkhanuly, he's used to right hands coming his way, so he moves his head over to the left. He's not used to fighting southpaws.
There's a home for that left hand again. Told you, tremendous amateur career, was a 2016 Olympian, made it to the quarters. Lost to the eventual bronze medalist, had 300 wins in his amateur career, was a 9-time Kazakh national champ, 2-time Asian Games champ. And 4 years a pro. He's coming off a long layoff, hadn't fought since November 9th of 2019. First round back, scores a knockdown. Let's check in with Bernardo Osuna.
Juan Carlos Del Greco, who has been training Coria for the last 4 years, told me, look, he wasn't hurt. It was a good shot, but he's not hurt. I want him to move his head, move his waist, and more importantly, move towards the right hand of Janibek. Stay away from the left.
And he's circling to his left right now.
And he's having some success. He's landed a few straight left hands, and you slowly are starting to see Coria wake up. You know, sometimes the fighter just comes out slow in that first round, and they got the deer in the headlights type of looks where they're only allowing their opponent to dictate. And that knockdown, I think, woke Coria up just a little bit.
Well, interesting to say, you know, listen, making his U.S. debut, comes out slow start. You mentioned he looked dry to you, Tim, and then he's hitting the floor in the first round.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta take your time to. Ooh, my goodness, those some good shots right there. You know, Janibek, he is fantastic in transition. What I mean from transition, what I mean about that is from offense to defense and back to offense. When things are coming towards him, he finds a way to land his offense. Wow. Oh.
Another big shot there with the left hand.
He's hurt.
But look at it was as Coria was throwing a shot, he found the opening.
Oh, and there's a short right hand and a devastating knockdown. Puts him under the bottom rope. He is laid out, face down. It's over. Big power from Alimkhanuly to move to 9-0.
Look, first of all, you gotta warm up in the dressing room, especially if you haven't been in the ring in over a year. And Alimkhanuly set up his offense, punching in between. Like I said, he's great in transition. He's able to find offense in between the eye of the storm. As you can see, Coria throwing punches, he's throwing shots, and he's throwing them back. But just the seam precision and the concentration that Alimkhanuly has is fantastic. Fantastic boxing ability. I believe he could be ready. I like what I saw tonight from him.
Right, I'm not going to say he's ready. I think he still needs more polish. You know, the middleweight division is stacked right now, and I'm not sure which one of those guys will even fight Alimkhanuly. But you know, he did what I said in the first, what he should have did in the first round. He landed a shot that was kind of grazing, and Coria got up. That time he turned the left hand over. Coria just started slow. He tried to wake up. He landed a few left hands. But even in that corner, to the young fighters out there, you never exchange in a corner with your back to the ropes with your chin in the air, because that can happen.
And then you look at the CompuBox numbers, and you realize when you get an accurate power puncher, you get early evenings like this. In that first round, he threw 16 power punches, landed 7, but then 13 of 23 in that second round when he finished it off, landing 51% of his power punches for the second round knockout. Let's make it official. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the MGM Grand, this bout comes to a conclusion at 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 2. For your winner by knockout, Janibek, Kazakh style, Alimkhanuly.
So the native of Kazakhstan, who lives and trains in Southern California with Buddy McGirt. He's got all the connections in the world too, with that stable that Egis Klimas has, that has gone on to great success. This left hand. And watch how Coria doesn't brace himself when he goes down here.
Just off balance, just swinging, almost like survival mode right there from Coria. You know, just throwing offense because he wanted to get Alimkhanuly off of him and set himself up for failure. Got hit with a big left hand. Oh my goodness, you see his eyes roll back in his head.
It's exactly what I wanted to point out. Watch on impact the eyes, and watch how it's the head that leads first. He doesn't brace for the impact of hitting the canvas.
But Alimkhanuly, look how he turned that shot over right there. That's the kind of shot, that's the type of reaction you're gonna get when you land a shot like that. Watch him right here. Gets in there, they have an exchange, and he just takes a half step back. He stayed under his feet and he put everything behind that overhand left, and you know, outwent Corey.
Let's toss it to Mark Chinook to get the night started.
Introducing first out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 159.6 pounds, wearing red trunks with black trim. He brings a perfect record, 9 victories, no defeats. 5 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is a 2016 Olympian. He is the reigning and defending WBO Global and WBC Continental America's middleweight champion. From Zilandi, Kazakhstan, Janibek, Kazakhstan, Alimkhanuly! Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 159.6 pounds, wearing red trunks with white trim. He brings a record of 26 victories, only 2 defeats. 18 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is a former middleweight world champion from St. Paul, Minnesota, Rob Bravo Barys.
They have packed it here at the theater. It has been a great stretch of fights. And it gets topped by Loma. It starts with Brandt and Alimkhanuly. Well, we saw Janibek last October, and he was very impressive with his power, Tim. Scored a second-round knockout against Korea. Back then was coming off a layoff. Hadn't fought in 335 days. But he carried that power right through and impressed us then.
Yeah, Tess, that was against limited competition. Now he's in there with a real contender. I know what he's rated in, you know, in one of these sanctioned bodies, but I don't care about that. I care about who you beat, and tonight he has a really game contender in front of him in Rob Brandt, former champion.
Yeah, he's a former world champion. Very, very good fighter who I think is still improving. The biggest challenge for Rob tonight is to control and manage himself first, and then he'll be able to control and manage Janibek. He can't get too greedy with his offense. He's got to be patient, but still use the jab to set things up, and he seems to be working on his patience right now in this first round.
I think patience would be a lesson learned from when he had the rematch against Ryota Murata back in July of 2019. Remember, 2018, he had that spectacular upset when he won the belt against Japan's Ryota Murata. That was just a work rate unlike anything we've seen before. Brandt threw over 100 punches per round that night. His final tally, guys, was 1,260 punches thrown that night.
Well, he's going to have a hard time doing that tonight because he's in there with a really good counterpuncher in Janibek. As you saw him catch Brandt down to the body with a beautiful straight left.
See a little nerves from Rob Brandt right now. He's not settled. Janibek seems more settled and more poised than Brandt. Brandt's got to get his nerves under control.
Janibek is looking to set up that backhand. That's what he's looking to set up. He's going the opposite way, going against the grain. The traditional way is to get your lead foot outside. He's shooting his jab inside and moving to his left. He's inviting the right hand of Rob Brandt so that way he can counter it. There it is.
Oh, it's a body shot. Long striding backhand, the left hand from Alimkhanuly.
Good solid shot.
Comes with the uppercut, fires it off when Rob Brandt crossed that threshold.
I think Brandt is realizing that Janibek is punching maybe a little harder than he anticipated. You can see the reaction on his face. It's not a huge reaction, it's subtle, but it's causing Brandt to not want to throw.
And those shots are sharp, quick, and accurate from Janibek.
End of round one of our co-feature. Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgotten. Y'all must have forgotten, right? Like, hey, did you guys forget who I am? I'm Vasily Lomachenko. Well, I guess we're going to find out.
That's exactly
Are we going to see some vintage Vasily Lomachenko tonight? A fighter who has just supreme skill and was the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world before October 17th last year when he lost to Teofimo Lopez. Round number 2 here. Alimkhanuly and Rob Brandt. Janibek Alimkhanuly landed 5 punches out of 27 thrown in that first round. Brandt was 3 of 18.
The punch that Rob Brandt has abandoned, at least thus far, is the jab. I haven't seen very many jabs from him in the first round. He's starting to pick it up slowly right now, but Rob Brandt's offense cannot get started without that left hand.
Janibek can fight like this all night long. Rob Brandt's going to have to change some things up if he loses this round. You know, he's trying to get his rhythm. He's trying to battle for outside position, but you got Janibek giving it to him. Boom. Nice shot right there from Janibek.
Thing about a fighter like Janibek is that he's powerful when his feet are planted. So Rob Brandt has to try to catch Janibek on angles, slip inside, make things rough, go back to boxing. He's got to switch things up right now. To your point, Tim, Rob Brandt is right in the line of fire.
Yeah, you can't allow a counterpuncher to sit back and just think like that. No, you can't rush in, but you got to take a little bit more risk. You see that left hand, it just one shot. That's all it was. Now you got to follow up after that one shot he throws. You make a miss, you got to follow up. Good jab.
That's the punch.
But nothing, no right hand behind it, no nothing. That good jab, you touched him with it. Now give me some power behind something with that jab.
And the thing with a southpaw, if you're right-handed.
Oh, there's a left hand. Alimkhanuly scoring well against Brandt.
I was going to say that Rob Brandt can still land that jab. He can tap the right glove of Janibek and punch over the top of that with the jab like you saw right there. But Rob is not in his element right now. He's right in the line of these straight left hands, which is Janibek's best punch. And right now he's got Rob Brandt just a little shell shock.
And he came with it again, Janibek did, with the blinding southpaw jab and then a left hand moments ago. Interesting trainer matchup we have as well in this matchup of Alimkhanuly and Brandt. Janibek Alimkhanuly is trained by veteran Buddy McGirt. Rob Brandt is with Bomac, Brian McIntyre. So past couple years he's been spending with Bomac and that Bud Crawford team. What Bomac say?
You got to let your hands go, okay?
Let your hands go. Got to keep working. You can counter his counter as well. You know, it's interesting to see the kind of fighters, the kind of guys that will gravitate towards wanting to work with Bomac and to Bud. You got to want to compete. You got to want to be pushed. And we've seen in recent years fighters improve greatly by being a part of their team. Jamel Herring's got himself a world championship at 130 pounds.
Yeah, if you don't plan to bring it on a daily basis in that gym, you might get ran out of there.
Or even outside that gym, because if you see the wrestling that goes on, the ping pong, and they compete every moment of the day when you hang out with that crowd, right?
Yeah, I'm not in the camp. I don't fight anymore. And every time I see Terrence Crawford, we're arguing about something. We're wrestling. We're playing back something. Something's going on because he's a competitor, and so am I.
Let's hear more of what's going on in the corners with Bernardo.
But Bomac is also a student of the game, so his assessment of Janibek was he's got good upper body movement, but he only throws one shot at a time, so we beat him with timing. We've got a jab and we've got a feint.
I think Brandt has to either be on the outside and commit to his outside punches, or he's got to be on the inside, but he's right in the range of Janibek, and that's a problem. It's okay if the opponent hits hard. You got to find a way to break that guard and get in there and get your offense off. And Rob Brandt, to this point, has not been able to do it.
And Rob Brandt is kind of giving everything away because he's so, battling for that position, that outside control. You don't have to just force it. You got to let it happen naturally. You can move both ways. It's okay to move both ways. But the fact that Janibek knows where he's going to be and knows what he's trying to do, he's going to nail him every single time.
But one of the things that Janibek is doing that's really, really good is he knows that Rob Brandt is moving to his right.
Yep.
So he's hitting Rob Brandt where he's going to end up, not where he is. So as Rob goes to the right, Janibek is already shooting a straight left right there, and it lands on the chin more times than it doesn't.
2016 Olympian from Kazakhstan. 4+ year pro. So living and training Southern California.
Rob Brandt
sets up that left hand again, working behind that. There it is.
Yep.
Flicking that jab, and there was that left hand to the body, and it landed with a thud.
It's easy. I mean, it's simple. I mean, Brandt is forcing the outside control. He's forcing. He's basically telegraphing where he needs to be. And you can just line him up. This is a smart southpaw in front of him. You got to switch both ways. You can move to your right if you're facing the southpaw.
Timmy, take us through the champs.
Box.
Janibek Alimkhanuly enjoying a 21-8 connect advantage. He has thrown 30 more punches than Rob Brandt, and you see the power punches through round 3. Overwhelming advantage. He's landing 46% of his power punches. The left hand to the body. He has now had 6 to the body.
You know, when you find yourself down like this early in a fight, like Brandt, you have to, something has to shift in your mind. You got to make some fast decisions. You have to ask yourself, am I willing just to get beat up round by round on the outside, where maybe I get caught with the big shots, or am I going to make an adjustment and trust and believe in myself, my preparation, and everything that I have that got me to this point? You got to make that decision. If not, it can go on like this all night long. In Janibek's favor.
Yeah, I think the power could be real, honestly, because Rob Brandt is continuously moving. He hasn't made any adjustments at all. He needs to step to Janibek. You know, it's not working going backwards. Step to him now. See if that would change some things.
And that's why I said mentally, Brandt has to shift, because he said everything right in the fighters meeting. He said, I can box, but if that's not working, I can go inside. And I've yet to see him go inside. And now Janibek is hitting him with jabs. It's the first real jab that we've seen Rob Brandt get hit with. And if that punch starts to land clean, Rob Brandt's going to have some problems.
Kiss. Is it Kiss? Man, he's been around a long time.
And Janibek is on cruise control right now.
He can do this all night. It can be 15, 20 rounds. He can do this all night long. Too much respect given by the former champion, Brandt.
2 headshots landed. The body shot, the left hand, straight left hand landed as well.
If I'm Bomac, I'm telling Brandt, we got to sell out, be smart, come behind your long jab, slip inside quickly, and let's go to the inside and see if we can push Janibek back.
There's that left hand again at range.
He caught him on the way out.
This is such consistent work, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's easy, taking candy from a baby. I mean, honestly, Brandt is doing the same thing over and over and over.
Brandt talked about the fact that he was very comfortable playing the underdog role here tonight. That's how he won a belt, but this is something different in front of him. It's not on his terms the way it was when he had that signature win back 3 years ago. Vegas books here on the Strip had Janibek Alimkhanuly as a -330 favorite, and he's playing the part. Dre, show us that left hand of Janibek Alimkhanuly.
Janibek pays the bills with that left hand. He's left hand dominant, and he's landed it over the top, like you see right here. He lands it. That's another overhand shot, overhand left. That was a straight left shot. That's a looping body shot. He's taken the same hand and he's landed it 2 or 3 different ways. And Rob Brandt has yet to make the adjustment. Another straight left right there.
Very confident Buddy McGirt. But you hear in that corner the translation and go from English. They even speak Russian in that corner. Then to Kazakh. had such a great amateur career, so the pedigree's there, the foundation is there, had a 300-win amateur career, was a 9-time Kazakh national champion, 2-time Asian Games champion, won gold at the World Amateurs, and in the 2016 Olympics made it to the quarterfinals. Ended up losing to the bronze medalist. Meanwhile, in the other corner, some problems to be solved for Bomac. For Brian McIntyre, the trainer of Rob Brandt.
Keep stepping, Rob. There you go. When you get on the outside, go. When you get on the outside, go behind your tail. There you go. When you get on the outside, go behind your tail.
Spoke to Brian McIntyre just moments ago. He said, look, we're down in this fight. The only way to change it is to get in his chest and push him back. If not, he's going to keep doing what he's doing.
Come on, Rob. We got to move forward. We got to move forward. Control the position right there.
It's exactly what Brandt needs to do. But Brandt is not confident to go inside. He thinks that there's more danger on the inside, and it's actually more danger on the end of Janibek's punches. He needs to cut that reach down and get inside and start to push back Janibek, because Janibek doesn't fight well going backwards. That's where Rob Brandt needs to live. But he's got to have the courage to get inside. I'll tell you, like my coach used to tell me and my brother when we sparred, he said, son, he's hitting you, you might as well hit him back. And I feel that way for Rob Brandt right now.
Yeah. Janibek Alimkhanuly has landed over 30 more punches than Brandt has.
Can Rob Brandt move to his right? Can he go left and then go right, or go right and go left? Can he change things up? Change dimensions, please? Come on.
And I would like to see Janibek continue to pick up the pace. If Rob Brandt is not going to meet him punch for punch, good exchange right there from both guys, Janibek can push the pace and see if he could potentially land a shot that might be able to get Rob Brandt out of here.
There's that signature left hand to close out that 5th round. It's a career best win and has nearly a 5-inch height advantage. That is what Loma intends to do tonight. It is coming up after this co-feature.
It's over. This fight's over.
Why do you say that? The knee's down.
Fight's over.
5.
Knockdown score to open round 6. You think this is hopeless, Timmy?
Over. No kind of response from the corner. I've never seen Bomac as quiet as he is. Has no answers for what Janibek is doing to his fighter right now.
Janibek Alimkhanuly, 9-0, incredible amateur pedigree, a promising middleweight prospect, soon-to-be contender, and he's just dominating Rob Brandt, the former belt holder.
I think Rob Brandt was one decision away from getting back into this fight, or at least trying to put himself in a position to, but he has not been able to make that decision and go inside for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason. It's the power and explosiveness of Janibek.
And the accuracy.
And I've never seen Janibek this sharp and this focused tonight. I've enjoyed his previous fights, but I had questions, and some of the questions I had, he's answered thus far.
Have you ever heard Bomac this quiet? I mean, Bomac, you hear crickets in the corner, man. Bomac is normally the loudest guy in the building.
In boxing.
Yes. I don't hear
body
anything.
shot. Big left hand to the body. Southpaw hook.
Listen, these are these cases in a fight. It don't look like much. No, Brandt, yes, he's doing well. He's surviving to a certain point, but he's getting hit flush with hard shots. And it's, the corner can step in and save his man. If he doesn't like what he's seeing, he can step in and just call a fight. Dad, you're not giving me anything. You didn't show up tonight, son. Let's go home.
Yeah, we're getting close to that point, because if Brandt right now is out of character for me. He's faced power before. We've always seen him answer the call, fight fire with fire, and he's not doing that tonight. So if I'm the coach, I'm very concerned about that.
I'm concerned about that right leg, that back leg buckling right there from Rob Brandt.
Rob Brandt is a tough fighter. He may not make the call, so that Bomac may have to make the call for him if this continues. And I'm talking about stopping the fight.
Looking at Bomac right now, see, don't see anything. He's looking. Typically, he has everything in the world to say. Not saying anything at all. That's out of character.
Yeah, I can see the corner saying I'm pulling it.
Just about 2 years ago, he was TKO'd by Murata. Let's see what happens here. Let's listen into this conversation as they assess Rob Brandt.
I'm gonna stop the fight, man. To me, but the right hand. All right, you got to boxing. Boxing, do the best you did, the best you can. When you feint, he's open for that right hand. All right, you all right? I know you feel good. I know your wind and shit is there. Taking all those right hands, all right? All right? Come on, man.
I think Bomac means to say left hands there.
Yeah,
obviously fighting a southpaw. The point is the backhand, the power hand. But he warns him, I'm going to stop the fight. I can't let you take this kind of punishment. Then the advice he gave him was to go out there and box, which, listen, I mean, a few rounds ago we're saying you got to be desperate, you got to go for it. Dominated last round, knockdown scored, the straight left hand, the power hand from Alimkhanuly, 13-1 in power punches in the last round. This has been a complete rollover as Alimkhanuly is just demolishing Brandt every round.
Yeah, this is going to be the round for Rob Brandt if he's going to show Bomac what he needs to see so he doesn't stop this fight. So let's see how he responds.
That's what I'm talking about. There it is. Right hand. About time he get busy with the right hand. Beautiful shot by Rob Brandt. Throwing the looping right hand. Woo!
That left hand, that power from Janibek Alimkhanuly, just throwing Brandt back. Janibek Alimkhanuly is part of the Aegis Klimas stable. Same stable that's had Gvozdyk, Lomachenko, of course, fighting in the main event tonight.
You know, Aegis doesn't get a lot of credit, but I like the way he manages his fighters, honestly, man. He tells me, why wait? I mean, you either got it or you don't. You know, when
that has been his theory.
That's his theory. So Janibek, excuse me, 9 professional fights. He's stepping up. Yes, he's rated high, but this is his first real test tonight, and he's passing this test with flying colors. This is a former world champion in Rob Brandt.
You would think that Rob Brandt landing that overhand right about a minute ago would have given him some encouragement to at least let his punches go, to see if he can land something. But Janibek has just landed so many powerful shots to the head and to the body. I just think right now Rob is discouraged and doesn't believe that he can do any damage and doesn't want to open himself up.
Well, survivor mode right now for Rob Brandt.
And Rob is a tough fighter, and this is really surprising to see from him tonight.
The power is real, Dre. The power of Janibek is real.
Yes, it is. You want to see the level of competition step up. We got that tonight, and the results look the same. Janibek Alimkhanuly dominating. Saudiegas, Red Spikes, Bomac, that's the group that is always right by the side of Bud Crawford, and they're just trying to give Rob Brandt some encouragement as they send him out for round 8. After round 6, Bomac was contemplating stopping the fight, trying to light a fire under his fighter. He was down in round 6. He has been outgunned all night long.
Well, I'm looking for the killer instinct in Janibek. He has a wounded fighter. He's been dominating. He's been landing hard shots. He's hurt him several times. I'm looking to see if he can step it up and attempt to go for the stoppage.
You know, I'm wondering if this is any residue from the Murata fight that we're seeing from Rob Brandt right now. You never know how a knockout loss can affect a fighter physically, emotionally, psychologically. And it can take something from you that sometimes you can't get back. So I wonder if this is some residue from the Murata fight, the second one.
Uppercut landed, straight left landed moments ago. There's another left hand. That sends Brandt back into the ropes. Bernardo, what are they saying over there with Bomac?
He hurt him with that body shot. He hurt him with that body shot.
There's really no answers here for Bomac. He already mentioned to the commissioner to be ready because they may stop this at any time. You can see him signaling he wants to stop this.
He's looking over at the rest of that team. Red Spikes, Saul. Saying he's not doing anything.
He can't keep taking those right hands. The boy, those left hands.
There's a sweeping left hand across the body again. Yeah, he started doing that early on.
Yeah, it was sweet how he set it up. He went high, brought the hands up, go down low.
So I know it's a hard thing for Bomac to even think about doing when he has the pound-for-pound king on my pound-for-pound list, Terrence Crawford, that he's used to dealing with. They got to take a good look at Rob Brandt. I know you may say, oh, it's only a round left. You take a lot of punishment in that round. They got to take a good look at Rob. Taking a lot of punishment to the head and to the body right now. It has been all night long.
He's got that towel in that right hand.
You gotta throw it, Rob. You're looking at it. You're thinking about it, but you gotta throw it. You gotta let it go.
And what is Janibek doing? Honestly, is he letting Rob Brandt just recover? I mean, I don't understand that.
Hold on. Don't. I ain't saying it's over.
This fight may be over in a moment.
Hey. That's it, man. That's it. All right. That's it. Take it to me left hands. That's it, man. I can't let you get it. I can't let you get hurt. He probably ain't hurt. Huh? It's nice. Come on, man. You got to do something. I don't want you to get stopped out there and get stopped and get hurt bad.
You think you can do it?
I know you choked the body that round. Yeah, I seen it. I seen it right over here.
You beat a lot of heavy shots. You got to show me something.
See?
Want to go?
That's it.
Wise choice.
There was a moment where Bomac listened to his fighter and almost reversed course. Then Michael Ortega, the veteran referee who moved out from Connecticut to work here in Vegas this past year, came over and said, you're taking big shots, you got to show me something. Bomac pressed a little more against Brandt, and that was it.
The credibility came back in that corner because, you know, Bomac and his team decided to stop the match. I understand that the ref was there and kind of enforcing things on him and let him know I need to see something, but I like the fact that they stopped this match because there was no hope for Rob Brandt.
Yeah, I don't think they were losing any credibility. It's just tough. You got to realize they're used to being the A side in everything. They're used to a fighter in Terrence Crawford that always dominates. They never have to think about throwing in a towel. So it's a tough call. Plus, when you got a fighter like Rob Brandt who's tough, but he just didn't have it tonight. I don't know why. You got to give credit to Janibek, and Rob's got to go heal up, think about some things, but great performance from Janibek. I know we're talking about what Rob didn't have, but we got to talk about the performance from Janibek and what he did have and what he did possess tonight.
Well, his power punching was superb, especially with his accuracy on his power punching. Look at the CompuBox numbers. He landed 46% of his power punches. He was 65 of 142. He landed 83 overall punches. 65 were power punches. 20 of those were to the body. 20 to the body. He started doing it early, scored the knockdown in round 6 with the straight left right to the chin. Listen, Janibek Alimkhanuly is in play at 160 pounds. I don't care 10 fights in. He had 300 amateur fights. He was an amateur world champion. He's an Olympian. The guy's in play.
There's no doubt about it. With this performance tonight and stopping Rob Brandt, you know, Murata was the guy that stopped Rob Brandt, who is the champion now. I love what I saw tonight. Like I said, I wanted to challenge him on the back end of his fight. He had a wounded prey, and he did what was necessary to get the stoppage.
Yeah, Janibek, Buddy McGirt, and his team are calling for a title shot. I think it's ready to give him a title shot. I would like to see him against any of the champions at 160 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Virgin Hotel, Las Vegas. After the 8th round, the red corner requests referee Michael Ortega to call a stop to this bout, declaring your winner by technical knockout and still WBO Global and WBC Continental America's middleweight champion, Janibek Kazakhstan Alimkhanuly.
Trainer Buddy McGirt, manager Igis Klimas, they've got themselves something here in the middleweight division, don't they? Janibek Alimkhanuly is now 9-0 with 6 knockouts from Kazakhstan to Southern California and now to a contender in the middleweight division.
Well, fans, from the Michelob Ultra Arena here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, we present our next attraction, brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated NTGB Promotions, live and exclusive on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, and sponsored by Disney Plus's Hawkeye. UFC 269, don't miss it. Saturday, December 11th, exclusively on ESPN Plus pay-per-view and DraftKings Sportsbook. This bout of the ring is sanctioned by the WBO, the supervisor Gustavo Oliveira, and the WBC, the supervisor is Lee Peters. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, we have Lisa Jumpa, John McKay, and David Sutherland. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBC Continental Americas and WBO Global Middleweight Championship. Introducing to you first, on my left is the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with blue trim, hailing from Yaoundé, Cameroon. He weighed in at 158.6 pounds. With a record of 38 wins, 5 losses, he has 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the 2-time Olympian and 2-time middleweight champion of the world, introducing Hassan El Fenomeno Endam. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gold trunks with black trim, he is fighting out of Los Angeles by way of Zilandi, Kazakhstan. He weighed in at 159.8 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 10 wins, no losses, 6 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2016 Olympian, the WBC number 4 and WBO number 2 ranked contender, and the undefeated defending WBC Continental Americas and WBO Global Middleweight Champion, introducing Janibek Kazakhstan Alimkhanuly. And the referee in charge now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
Okay, gentlemen. Trunks are a little high on both sides, so the upper half will be considered a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Again, on the caution to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Touch him up. Touch him up.
All right, Andre Ward, let's size up Aleem Hanallah, and let's do so by going back to his amateur pedigree. Of course, something you know can launch a very successful career, from gold medal to first ballot Hall of Famer from you. In 2013, Dre, he's the world amateur champion. He's the gold medalist. He's a 9-time national champion in the Kazakh system of coming up as an amateur. And his amateur record was 300 framed against only 8 losses. 308.
Pretty good. Pretty good. But that's why you see Buddy McGirt and his team, and even Aleem Hanallah himself, saying, I want to move fast. I'm ready for a title shot. That wouldn't be the case for most guys with only 10 fights. Tonight's his 11th fight. But because he has all the amateur experience, you can put him on the fast pace.
Yeah, he's on a fast pace right now. He's on the hunt. Janibek's looking for a knockout in this round.
Oh, there's a left hand to the body. Strong southpaw is Aleem Hanallah. He says he does everything left-handed except eat. His opponents eat a lot. Endam is trying to avoid eating that big left hand.
Got some work with Endam in the first Kovalev camp. He would come in and give me speed work. And at his best, hard, tricky guy to hit. And his legs were a lot better 4 or 5 years ago. It's not the case right now. I'm looking for Aleem Hanallah to really have a great performance tonight, coming off the Rob Brandt performance, if he's going to stay on the fast track.
You know, Timmy, speaking of that Rob Brandt performance, Brian McIntyre, a.k.a. Bomac, who is the exceptional trainer of Terrence Crawford, will play a huge role in our world title fight tonight. He was training Rob Brandt when Janibek Alimkhanuly just beat him down. And the comments he said to us this week of just the reaction that Brandt had and what was happening back in the corner, reacting to the heavy-handed power of Janibek, it was eye-opening.
Yeah, well, he said that he wanted he just wanted to hug Red, the other trainer in his corner, because he just saw in the first round that his guy didn't have the ability to beat Janibek.
And I'm trying to work his way to the inside. Janibek fires back with a left hand.
You know, Endam is older. He'll make you work for it. He'll make you work to land that big shot that Aleem Hanallah is looking to land.
Endam right now, he's using burning a lot of energy, moving back and forth, you know, for an older fighter. He snuck a nice right hand in on Janibek a little bit earlier in this round. Let's see if he can do it again. Ooh, nice jab.
And Bud Crawford, when he gets the power punches going, he's among the best power punch connect fighters in the world as we work our way towards that WBO welterweight championship fight right here. Glad you're with us exclusively on ESPN Plus. Round number 2 between Aleem Hanallah and Endam. In that first round, Janibek Aleem Hanallah landed 12 of 38 punches thrown. Endam landed 7.
Tess, the best way to deal with a veteran like this who can make things ugly, even if it's only for a few rounds, is to get straight to work. And you see Aleem Hanallah trying to do that. He's not messing around much. He's trying to get straight to the point of contact and hit Endam. It's a bit hard right now because Endam's not standing still, but when he gets in range, he needs to let those shots go any and everywhere.
Well, the thing is, he needs to throw where he's going. Not throw at him, but throw where he's going.
Well, right now he's circling to that power hand, Tim.
Yeah, and instead of shooting the shot to the head, you want to shoot the shot down to the body.
Step back clean. There we go.
And Janibek's not doing that.
Don't want to play the veteran game that Endam wants Aleem Hanallah to play.
Nice boxing by Endam.
And Dom gave that angle and then fired off the right hand.
Yeah, very sneaky. Now nice little tie up right here. You can see he's getting a little bit tired. He's moving those legs around. He's exerting a ton of energy.
Yeah, I don't think this pace for Ndom at 37 years of age is sustainable.
That's a very good point as he fires off the left uppercut. It's a lot of movement to try to stay away. Straight left hand from Alimkhanuly.
Let him up, let him up. Watch your heads, watch your heads.
So, I mean, you got a guy that moves like Ndom. You got to go to the body. You want to hit him in the chest. You want to hit him in the shoulders. You want to hit anything to disrupt him. And to slow those legs down.
Try to lift him up with that left uppercut, so Ndom shake it off.
Nice cutoff right there. It's exactly what Janibek needs to do. He needs to throw where he's going, as he does there with the backhand.
End of two. Terrence Crawford. He will gladly invite the aggression, invite the non-stop, relentless attacking style, invite you thinking that you're going to be made uncomfortable. Bud loves when a fight gets to that place.
Well, because Terrence Crawford is a mean fighter. You don't have a lot of mean fighters in the ring, and you don't have to be a mean person to be a mean fighter, but Bud is that guy where you hit me, that competitiveness comes out, that desire, all the stuff that fighters talk about, he really embodies it, and then you see him want to get the shot back or get the combination back, and that's just who he is.
Look, some guys, they give a little to gain a lot, you know, similar to like fishing, so to speak. You know,
Come on, let's go, let's go.
when you throw the rod out there and you get a bite, you let the fish take the line for just a second. Let him think he's getting away, and then boom, you hook him. That's what Bud Crawford does to a lot of his opponents, especially early on.
We'll see if he can set that hook in Sean Porter. We'll have that discussion about what we expect early on in this fight. It was interesting. We had such a great visit with Sean Porter the other day, and I think maybe he gave us a tell as to what we could be in store for early on. You will see the Hall of Fame fighter he is honoring, his favorite all-time fighter, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Could we have a special evening of outrageous fireworks like Hagler and Hearns had back in April of '85? Left hand from Alimkhanuly, and off balance for a moment as Ndom wraps him up and comes all the way across the ring. Alimkhanuly closing that gap. You know, even catching some of these punches, Dre, there is damage done.
Oh yeah.
Even with the guard up.
Yes, he's still hurt from the first left hand that Alimkhanuly landed. He's still hurt right now because Alimkhanuly is a big puncher. So to your point, those punches don't have to land clean to hurt Ndom.
Ndom clearly affected. Oh, he gets snapped back with a straight left hand. Alimkhanuly in control here in round number 3. Landing flush with the power punches. To me, it looks like he's just set something up with that power hand, with that flicking right jab, doesn't it?
That's what he's doing, looking for openings. Trying to create an opening just by shooting the jab outside. Oh, he hurt.
Look at that uppercut. And down he goes. Knockdown scored here in round 3.
6, 7, 8, okay. Come to me. Gloves.
That was a beat down in the final minute of round 3. Janibek Alimkhanuly as he plays to the crowd.
Motherfucker out of there. Go to him, get him out. Stand your ground, man. Give me the whole. Here now.
Okay, Ndam, he's been blocking the left hand of Janibek, but not right there. Had no clue. Slightly off the angle. Janibek lands a straight left hand, high on the temple. That's why you saw the legs buckle from Ndam. Great follow-up sequence right there from Janibek. It's just a matter of time. You can't move around like that, being a big man from the opening bell. You know, you got to establish yourself and establish a game plan. You just can't start off running around and trying to survive and not get hit.
Round number 4. Alimkhanuly has landed over 50% of his power punches. Let's see how Ndam looks early on here in round 4.
His legs are done. Legs are gone. Ndam's legs are done.
Watch out.
But he said, don't play around. Get him out of here.
Watch your feet.
1-2 backed him up. Ndam trying to punch between punches there and close the gap.
Because that's what veterans do. He's tough. He went down, he's hurt, but he's always looking for one shot to upset the apple cart. And to Buddy McGirt, the trainer of Alimkhanuly, his point is to don't play. Get him out of here. Let's go home.
Will that happen here in round 4? Tremendous looking contending middleweight.
Alimkhanuly just needs that one good shot.
He's looking for it too. He's in the fire right now, and he's okay standing there right in front.
Doesn't feel threatened at all. Wide sweeping right hand from Ndam. And Janibek smiles and just inches forward. Tried to sweep across that belt line with a right hand.
Work out, work out.
The uppercut is the punch that Janibek should be looking for. See Ndam trying to lean forward, trying to close the gap, and he's leaning over that front foot.
Yep, there it is. Left uppercut. Short too, compact. Only comes from about 6 to 8 inches away and does damage. Tried to sweep with that right hook from the southpaw stance.
See, a fighter with a high IQ, he recognized that. Janibek.
Watch your heads.
Ndam has heart.
Sure does. Standing right in the kitchen in this round after being hurt in the third, and then steps forward behind the jab. Got a middleweight title eliminator coming up in our next fight. That's the co-feature before we get to Crawford and Porter. He's looking for that uppercut there, Timmy, as they opened up. There's that thudding left hand that sends Ndam back.
Janibek, all he needs to do is take a half step back, get the right distance, and he can catch Ndam on the way in. With a shot like that, half a step back, bing. That's what I'm talking about.
Ndam able to absorb that and throw back. Patient, stalking Alimkhanuly here in round 4.
Alimkhanuly's been dishing out a lot of heavy leather, particularly with that left hand right there. That landed flush on the temple on the side of the head of Ndam because he leaned forward. Alimkhanuly timed him, didn't have to move his feet, just turned his waist, and it landed clean. And Ndam took that punch pretty well.
See Kenny Bayless taking a peek at Ndam, just observing, seeing the kind of shape he's in.
Let's go. Hold.
Start of round number 5. To this point, CompuBox tally has Janibek Alimkhanuly having landed 45 power punches against Ndam.
Aleem Hanallah.
Oh, there it is. There's that left uppercut. Endam tries to shake it off. He's already in trouble here early on in round 5. Warning for holding behind the head.
Just waiting on another half a step back. That's all he needs. Half a step back and catch him as he's coming forward, leaning forward, looking for offense.
Dre, how's that front leg look to you on Endam?
Oh, it's shaky, and it's been shaky from really round 1, but especially after he got knocked down. But got to remember, that's the 17th time Endam has been down. Aleem Hanallah has to remember that, not get discouraged that he hasn't gotten Endam out of there. Just keep chopping. Keep chopping. Familiar Endam with being on the canvas, and he's familiar with weathering storms and trying to fight to stay in a fight. And that's what he's doing right now. Taking a lot of punishment, but he's still trying to survive.
There it is. Time them on the way in.
Left hand, sharp shooting, backs him up into that corner. And here comes the combination punching from Janibek Alimkhanuly. Endam's head snaps back and he survives it.
Endam is tough.
Stop. Step back. Hurry
I don't care how tough he is. He's getting beat down right now. And it's only going to get worse. Look at this. Legs don't look stable at all. It's about to be ugly.
Just got away enough. He's absorbing a lot. He's trying to shake off a lot.
Bring him up.
This is the too tough for your own good kind of 5th round.
The Bayless has to keep a close eye on him if he makes it out of this round.
Step forward, ate another left uppercut. And somehow he's taken this from Alimkhanuly.
Until he doesn't.
Endam was tough. Taking a lot of punishment.
Endam doing some of the work for Janibek. Lunging in right there behind the jab. Leaning over that front knee. Boom! Beautiful uppercut right up the middle. Just taking a half a step back. That's how he's able to draw in Endam. Second uppercut during this round. There it is again. Half a step back. Shoot it right up the middle. A lot of these shots are landing just because Endam is making mistakes.
Look at those CompuBox numbers from the last round. 24 of 35 power punches landed, the majority of the work, the damage done by the uppercut. But 24 power punches landed by Alimkhanuly in that last round. Round number 6. We've got a
Joe
very well-made. Yes, he does, Dre, no doubt about it. Very well-matched title eliminator coming up next, and then it is the world title fight.
He's got to watch him because he's getting hit with those shots that snap the head back. He doesn't really have a chance to win this fight, and he's too tough for his own good. Like you mentioned, he's a veteran, so sometimes you have to save fighters from themselves.
Watch how Janibek set him up right here. He's going to catch him. As soon as he lunges in with a shot, bing. It's going to be a perfectly timed punch from Janibek.
He's off balance, just trying to get out of the way. Feet tangled a bit and threw him off balance.
Yeah, feet tangling is typical for an orthodox fighter and a southpaw fighter. So
be interesting to see what we get for preferred stance out of Bud Crawford tonight in our World Championship fight.
Anybody want to guess? I'm going to say he's going to come out in the orthodox stance.
Of course, he has power in both hands.
Bad spot for Ndam to be with his back to the ropes. He has nowhere to go. Can't escape.
All right, stop. Let him. Stop. Let him go.
Couple wide sweeping right hands from Ndam that Alimkhanuly was able to block. There's that just create enough space left uppercut. Follows him back with a series of left hands.
Ndam missed with a shot. Janibek counters, then follows him out.
No, stop.
A bloody nose of Ndam. Half of it splattered on my suit.
Oh, no.
Really?
Okay, get the guy out of there.
Did I get in?
Alimkhanuly throws the left hand from different angles. That was sort of a left uppercut right there that he almost turned around to be an overhand left. He took a nice step to the side, then landed a straight left right there. That was created because he took that step over. Here we see another angle right here. Snaps the head back of Ndam, and he's just giving angles. He's on cruise control, and he clearly is in control of this fight. But the question is, can he find a way to stop the veteran Hassan Ndam right now? And that's what the trainer, Buddy McGirt, is asking for. Because even though you're in control, or because you're in control, you should be able to get this guy, this 37-year-old fighter who's been down 17 times in his professional career, out of there before the distance, before the final bell rings.
Stop. Hold it.
Terence Crawford is quite particular. You can see him working on his own wraps.
That's unbelievable. Honestly, I mean, usually at this level, you have a guy that hand wraps, you know, that does your hand wraps, put your shoes on, you know, lather you up a bit, stretch you out, but not Terence Crawford. He likes to do everything for himself. Just shows you how grounded he still is, even though he is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world.
Time in.
Joe, I think Manny Pacquiao wrapped his own hands come fight night.
Sure did.
Buddy McGirt is asking for Alimkhanuly to throw combinations because Ndam has shown that he can take the single shot if he sees it coming. So Buddy's saying put 2s and 3s together to see if that works.
And meanwhile, in the other corner of our World Championship fight, just saw the team of Kenny Porter and Barry Hunter and Hal Chernoff getting Sean all set and taped up with hand wraps. So right on schedule, Crawford and Porter.
If Alimkhanuly started going to the body early, Tess, I'm not sure this fight wouldn't be over by now.
He has only landed 13 body punches, Dre, of 118 punches he's landed. Just 13 to the body.
And the times he's thrown, he's landed clean. and got a reaction from Ndam. Just not enough.
Off balance for a moment, clubbing right hook there, and then the tie-up from Ndam, the veteran.
Tough battle to win for a fighter on the way up, because you knock out Ndam, so what? He's been stopped before. He's been down 17 times. If you let him hang around, they say, oh, what's wrong with Alimkhanuly? Is he not what we thought he was?
There's a body shot that he sticks in under the left elbow.
The head of Ndam is going back and forth, but the body's not moving. He needs to go to that body.
Janibek probably saying to himself, man, I'm hitting this guy with everything, and he's not going anywhere. Ugh, getting frustrated. Got some homework for Buddy McGirt.
Neutral, neutral. Tape again. Come on, tape. Let's go.
Blood continues to stream down from the nose of Ndam, from his mouth as well, which is wide open.
No talking. Here we go. Time in.
A surprising end to the 7th round. To think that we're at the 7th round with where this fight was early on and how hurt Ndam seemingly was, especially in the 3rd.
Hey, Johnny, you throw the left, you're too far away. You got to get closer to throw the left hand. Okay? How you feeling? Feeling good? Okay, but listen, when you're inside, don't get hit with those right hands. No good.
There's a possibility that Janibek hurt his hand. If you see here, he's going to glance at his corner. Yes. And he's going to point to his left hand like, I hurt my hand.
Yep, absolutely. You saw him pointing to that left hand.
It's time the first chance to get put together a good combination. Not hard, but fast. Fast, okay? Very good.
Buddy McGirt loves working with Alimkhanuly, and you hear the translation that takes place in the corner as he's there with Barys Sultan, who is Janibek's brother. You know, we've done production meetings with the 3 of them, 2 men who grew up in Kazakhstan, and then Buddy McGirt, who's one of the ultimate characters in the game. And Buddy said, we're fine. I speak boxing, they speak boxing. We're fine.
Universal language test. Boxing talk.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
I think one thing, Buddy.
There was no mention of the left hand being hurt in the corner in between rounds. Buddy asked for combinations, and I think Alimkhanuly saying something's going on with the left hand, but he didn't mention it in between rounds.
Bernardo?
I was actually in the corner, and I asked Buddy McGirt about the left hand, and he said it's not hurt. He's like, what made you think that? And I said, well, because when he came over on camera, we saw him point to it. And he and Russ Abner said, well, that's the first we know of it. But a corner telling the truth or not, that's a whole different story.
As you deal with every week on this job. Russ Amber is the 3rd man in that corner, veteran cut man.
Stop.
Janibek needs to work on his lead hand.
Don't hold him.
He has a good jab, but he doesn't have a solid right hook. That's what's missing. The backhand is beautiful. Great backhand. But if he had a right hook, things could be a bit different.
Oh, look at the doubling up the left hand. He shakes it off. There is so much blood coming out of his nose and his mouth. Bud Crawford continues his pre-fight ritual as he's going to get stretched out here. Open up his back and his legs.
Quiet before the storm.
Stop.
Bud Crawford relaxing, getting stretched out.
That's it. They're going to call this fight. And I'm saying no. But I think his face is saying yes. He gave a very, very spirited effort just to stay with it, just to stay up. But he took far too much. 54% of Alim Hanala's power punches landed on Endam. 107 power punches connected by Alim Hanala. This is the end. Listen to this.
No. I'm ready to die.
Did you just hear what he said?
Yeah.
Hassan Endam, at 37 years old, with now a 38-6 record, who's been down 18 times in his career, turned to the veteran referee Kenny Bayless and said, no, I'm ready to die. It is Kenny Bayless's job and the commission's job to make sure that his life is not threatened. But if ever you want to understand a fighter's mentality,
That's right.
if ever you want to understand the fearlessness of these athletes who step up those 4 steps and go through those ropes, you just heard it right there. Something that for most everybody is completely unrelatable, but for somebody like Endam is the norm. And there are the power punches landed, and it is astounding numbers for Alim Hanala, who finished it off at 55%, 111 landed. Only 16 of those 111 were to the body. A lot of headshots. So the 2 unbeatens are in the ring here in Vegas, ready to go, as is Mark Chinook ready to go with the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside Resorts World Las Vegas. This is boxing, this is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum, sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Stephen J. Klubeck, Executive Director Mr. Jeff Mullen, our ringside physicians, Dr. Raimundo Leon, Dr. Vicky Mazorana, Dr. Tristan Cooper, and Dr. Brandon Sneed. Our timekeepers this evening, Steve Esposito and Steve Mazzagatti. Our judges at ringside, Dave Moretti, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Steve Weisfeld. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Tony Weeks. And now, to everyone in attendance here inside Resorts World Las Vegas, and to everyone watching on ESPN, this is boxing, this is Top Rank, and baby, this is the main event! 12 rounds for the vacant WBO Interim Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 159 pounds. Wearing red trunks with white and gold trim. He brings an unbeaten record into the ring. 14 victories, no defeats, 1 draw, 8 victories coming by way of knockout. He is the number 3 ranked middleweight contender from Essex, England, Danny Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 160 pounds, wearing white trunks with black trim. He brings a perfect record into the ring. 11 victories, no defeats, 7 victories coming by way of knockout. He was a 2016 Olympian and a gold medalist at the 2013 World Championships. He is the #2 ranked WBO middleweight contender from Zelandi, Kazakhstan, Janibek Alimkhanuly!
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing room. Okay, right here is good, anything that's low. Right here is good, anything that's low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
Good to have the veteran referee Tony Weeks in action here for our title fight. You saw the note with Janibek. Dignam is the first undefeated rival of his career. Although he's been in against opponents who have fielded good records. Combined records, last 5 opponents, 131 wins, 15 losses. Round number 1 underway. Timmy, what do you expect early on?
Early on, it's all about positioning, getting the right distance. Who's going to take the initiative? Because you have 2 southpaws facing one another. This is the closed stance battle, which means that the lead hand has a clear path to the head of the opponent. In the backhand, you have to find a way to land your power punches.
You know, and Dignam was quick to point that out. There's a straight left by Janibek right away. But Dignam was excited about fighting a southpaw. Now, you may not be excited about fighting Janibek, but he said he hates when the orthodox fighters are constantly crowding his lead hand where it's sitting right on top. So he enjoys fighting southpaws.
Well, in my fight study, I can tell you this. Dignam, he has a tendency to be heavy on his front foot when he jabs. So if you look at his lead foot, it's flat on the ground. It's hard to really get out when you need to get in and get out of range. So when he plants that foot, it's heavy. He's heavy on that front lead foot. So that right hand counter or the left hand counter over the top will be available during the course of this fight for Janibek.
See that long stance as well. We will look for that being heavy on that front foot and causing a defensive issue to see if he doesn't have the ability to move out of the way.
And you see he's not doing it at the moment because he knows
he
that
knows what's opposite him, right?
Exactly. So now Janibek's going to have to set it up. And he's going to set it up with his feints. And he's going to have to set it up. Oh, nice right hook right there from Janibek.
Janibek is efficient. Janibek is accurate.
Night.
Rolling to the ground, and let's see if we get a count. There it is. So that is being scored a knockdown here in round 1. Just overwhelmed that time. Final minute of round 1. Janibek has already scored a knockdown. Tosses out the feint. Now triples up that jab, goes with the left uppercut. Look at the hand speed as well. Check hook from Janibek.
That's something new, Tess, he's been working on. The check hook was something that he wasn't doing all too often in his previous fights.
Straight left came in moments ago. There it comes again behind the jab. You see redness on the face of Dignam already. Janibek popping that jab, comes with the left hand again. End of 1, a 10-8 round for Janibek Alimkhanuly.
Got to bring their hands back quick, fast and faint. You've got to let your hands go. You're giving him too much, showing too much respect. Right? How's it feel? Good. The power. Right? Yeah? Showing him too much respect. Scott. Bring them back fast.
Look, southpaws are so used to fighting right-handers that they lean to the opposite side, the wrong side. As you see right there, Dignam pulling straight back. Look at his hand placement. Terrible defense, leaning back, trying to get away from shots, putting himself in no man's land. Got hit with combinations flush on the chin, and down he went.
The 5-punch combination had a little bit of everything to it. And even the jab did damage deeper into that combination. Swept to the body, had the left hand to the head that did damage. The jab and the knockdown scored. 13-5 connected advantage in that first round. 6 power punches landed by a very efficient Janibek. We have seen that throughout this early stage of his career. Very efficient. Doesn't have to throw a lot to be effective.
Janibek already has Dignam reacting to his feints. When you have your opponent reacting to your feints, now you know you're in control of him.
Kevin Lilly, the trainer of Danny Dignam, said you're showing him too much respect. You got to let those hands go. Oh, there's a left hand that he stood up to.
Oh, he can go ahead and let his hands go. That's all right. I mean, he's getting hit. You might as well do some hitting back, but you got to leave yourself open.
Popping that jab.
Broke his ankles with that feint. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he broke his ankles again with that feint. My goodness. I've never seen that before, Tess.
Well, I mean, that goes into the bucket, too, of showing him too much respect. He is so caught up into the talent gap here, the class
see the left
gap.
hand over the top, set up with the jab? Oh. This taking candy from a baby right here. Dignam's doing everything that Janibek wants. He's controlling him with the stick, the range, with the feint.
Comes underneath with the left hand as well, then goes back up top with it. Class disparity, Tim, right in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
This is the WBO's #3 contender, an unbeaten guy from England.
Oh.
Another left hand comes in from Janibek. He's off balance again. He's getting swarmed. Headshot comes in.
Just a matter of time.
Oh, big shot comes in. And another. Oh, the uppercut floors him. And it's over. The uppercut absolutely destroys him. Slice it, dice it, put it on top. Janibek every which way. Second round knockout to claim his first belt as a pro. 12-0, 8 knockouts. Exactly what everybody came to see. Every power punch he could throw, and then an uppercut that finishes it. Janibek Alimkhanuly. As he points to the Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum, who took a trip to Kazakhstan in recent years, embracing the boxing culture there. And this tremendous skyrocketing middleweight gets a hug from Igis Klemis, who's also the manager of Vasily Lomachenko and heavyweight titleist Alexander Usyk. And now he has this middleweight. All right, Timmy, let's go through it. The highlights are going to be rolling deep into the night. Here's how he finished it.
Listen to me, Dignam was outclassed from the beginning, from the start. And you see Janibek right here measuring with his left hand. See, when you use your left hand, you're blind. You keep your opponent occupied. And the follow-up combinations right there, and what did he do? He followed the body. He saw the opening right up the middle, the left hand right on the button right there. He saw the head drop down, boom. Changed the angle. I told you guys in the beginning, watch the straight left hand and also watch the left hand uppercut. Woo! And did you see the head bounce off the canvas in the end? That is brutal. Brutal.
Now listen. Danny Dignam is Danny Dignam, right? It's the guy that built up his records in the UK. Yeah, I understand when he was ranked in the BO. He overcame some adversity. Wanted to come over here, take the challenge. A lot of guys didn't want the challenge at Janibek. Janibek's the real deal.
He's a real deal, no doubt about it.
Janibek's the real deal.
No doubt about it. When you have a Hall of Famer and Buddy McGirt saying in the fighter meeting, Tim, no one can beat this guy at 160 pounds. He told me that. I said, are you sure? He said, Tim, no one. I'm letting you know right now. I believe every word he just said, or every word he said in that fighter meeting. Now,
let's make it official. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside Resorts World Las Vegas, this bout comes to a conclusion at 2 minutes, 11 seconds of round number 2 for your winner by knockout. And now the WBO interim middleweight champion of the world, Janibek, Kazakhstan, Alimkhanuly.
He closed the show landing 15 of 17 power punches thrown. It was the uppercut that finished it in spectacular, absolute spectacular fashion. Jackpot on the Vegas Strip for Janibek.
All right, guys, they're both high, so right here is the belt line here. Right here is the hip line here is where we're gonna, everything below there is low. I gave you guys both instructions. I just want to remind you to please listen and follow my requests at all times. Protect yourself at all times, fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
Excellent referee and Jack Reese for this World Championship fight. Last time we saw Janibek Alimkhanuly, he was coming into the fight with a 6-fight knockout streak. And then against Denzel Bentley, Dre, it was a somewhat underwhelming performance. He was criticized that, hey, a guy like Bentley with his experience, his skill level, how do you not get rid of him? Bentley had some moments. How much do you believe that that criticism, that performance affects Janibek tonight?
I don't think it affects him tonight, especially if he comes out here and he dominates and he does what many believes that he's going to do, including Tim Bradley. But when you're facing that level of competition, good shot right there from Janibek.
Starts it.
You're going to get that kind of criticism. When you're the boogeyman, when you're the self-proclaimed guy that everybody's ducking, they expect you to look above average and spectacular every time out, even though that's not a reality.
But it's also a little humbling as well to get that criticism. You know, you start reading your plus clippings and you start believing that you're that guy, and then it humbles you for a second. So then you go back into the gym and you start working even harder.
Janibek hasn't landed anything clean, but those shots landed very heavily on the arms and on the gloves of Butler. That's why you see him wide-eyed right now, not throwing punches, because he's felt the power, even though it hasn't landed clean.
What Janibek's doing is it's a nice little bait jab right there. A little flick jab, trying to get a reaction. What he's doing is he's looking at the guards of Butler, trying to catch him, trying to look for openings, trying to create openings off his feints and that nice little probing jab.
There's a left hand, that power hand to the body from Janibek.
The big mistake that Butler's made in his previous fights is he leans over his feet when he punches. That's going to be a problem for a guy who counter punches as well as Janibek, and who's as good a boxer as Janibek.
All three of Butler's losses are by knockout.
So Butler's choosing right now to use his lateral movement and be the counterpuncher on the outside. He's looking to sneak opportunities to land some offense created by his footwork. And Janibek, I thought, would be fighting off his back foot, but he's actually the aggressor in this fight. Janibek is sitting back and he's looking for any mistakes or any holes in Butler's offense and defense. Both guys showing a ton of respect. Nice left hand right down the middle. Janibek lined that up perfectly. Got his foot on the outside when he landed that left hand.
End of one in this title fight.
Stop. Nobody punch. Step away. Time's over.
Set for round number 2 here between the world champion Janibek Alimkhanuly and Stephen Butler, the challenger. Janibek, after that first round, listening into his trainer, the former world champion himself, and Buddy McGirt. But because of the language barrier, it's Buddy McGirt throwing out 1 or 2 phrases or words, and then Barys Sultanov translating in real time for Janibek. So Buddy will just say 1 or 2 things, pause, and then you'll get the translation, and Janibek locks in.
Oh, nice right hand to the chest by Butler. When you have someone as slippery as Janibek that has good footwork, you know, you want to hit the biggest target you have available, and throwing that right hands down to the chest and body area is a smart thing to do.
I like the game plan thus far from Butler. You see him thinking, and you see him trying to bring Janibek to him. And if Janibek poses,
Janibek with the left uppercut, and then a series of left hooks that just flattens Butler.
That quick.
One mistake.
Watch out.
7, 8.
He doesn't know where he is.
Janibek's got a ton of time to close the show.
That's it, brother.
One mistake.
That's it, brother.
He's unsteady on his feet. Here we go. Here he comes. Stalking the prey. Left uppercut again. Sweeping shot. He's trying to hang on and still lands while he's tied up. Butler's in rough shape. Body shot comes in. Another left uppercut. Left hook. Butler up against the ropes. Can't defend himself. Just falls forward.
Okay, stop. Stop the hold. And you continue.
Nearly flopping like a fish. Look at his knees. Licorice legs on Butler. Janibek calmly closing, looking to put this thing away here in round 2. Butler somehow still on his feet, blood raining from his nose. Oh, he collapses.
2, 3, 4, 5. Look at me.
Well, he's got to stop.
Just abusive punishment he's taking here in round 2.
He can't walk that way, man.
Come to me. You got one last shot, man.
It's going in.
Reese is going to let him go again.
It's going in ugly.
Janibek, uppercut again. Oh my! What a devastating, destructive second round and onslaught from Janibek Alimkhanuly.
Well, I guess I'm not cutting my hair. Or, excuse me, I am not growing my hair. I should put it that way.
Janibek,
my goodness,
delivers on everything he wanted to. And that is the guy that everybody talked about as the boogeyman, that version of Janibek.
Janibek followed the script tonight. These are the kind of performances he's got to continue to have.
Yep.
It's not even draw guys out, because that's not going to make guys want to fight you, but he needs the public to apply pressure. He needs the public to help him draw somebody out so he can get a name to try to get to a bigger name and bigger payday. These are the kind of performances he needs.
He needs the public to clamor over him. He has to continue to deliver these type of knockout performances against these type of guys, so that way the public, like you said, Dre, will cry out.
That left uppercut started it.
Oh, that's brutal.
Then another one came in.
Accurate heavy shots. Each one landed after the opponent is
the
already buzzed and hurt.
Inside slip. Oh, my goodness. Straight up the middle. Beautiful shot.
Right
well
now,
placed.
Butler's what you call out on his feet. He's there, but he's not there.
Oh.
His mind is somewhere. Boom. Another good shot. Another accurate shot. Barely missed, but the damage was already done. It doesn't take much to get your opponent to the canvas. Let's see how he finished it. Good jab right there. That felt like a left hand. Boom. Another jab. Left. The referee could have stopped it right there, but this is professional boxing, so I didn't think he would. Let's see the finish.
Here's the end of the fight coming up, Trey. Here it is.
He stalked his prey, landed a big shot. You know, if one big shot landed just like that, he would have that kind of reaction from Butler. That's what the fans came to see, and that's what they got.
I mean, the heart of Butler to get up after those shots.
I don't know how he did it, Tim.
Seriously, I mean, he was cursing at himself, pounding the canvas.
Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside Stockton Arena, this bout comes to a conclusion at 2 minutes, 35 seconds of round number 2. For your winner by knockout, and still WBO middleweight champion of the world, Janibek, Kazakh style, Alimkhanuly.
Gonna take a short break. We will show you more of the destructive power of Janibek when we return.
Okay, gentlemen, scheduled to box 12 rounds. I've gone over the rules in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
The mentality of Vincenzo Gualtieri is to be respected. He said, I understand Janibek is a strong fighter with excellent punching power, but we're in the top level now, and I will only fight fighters who are good. That's what boxing needs. Stop hiding behind the O. Go out there and look for glory. And that's what Vincenzo Gualtieri and Janibek Alimkhanuly are trying to do here in this middleweight title unification. The power of Alimkhanuly in the green trunks trimmed in red against Il Capo, the boxer, Vincenzo Gualtieri.
Gualtieri has an interesting style. It's untraditional. You know, right now he's fighting an orthodox stance, but he also can fight in the southpaw stance. He is a left-hander as well.
How'd you prove it, Tim?
Well, what I did was I threw my pen across the table during the fighter meetings, and he picked it up with his left hand. And I said, oh, you're left-handed. Makes a lot of sense.
You hear Janibek chants. You hear Il Capo chants as well here in Rosenberg, Texas.
See that lunging right there? Janibek's gonna make him pay. Right there, he took a picture right there of Gualtieri going over his back leg, bringing his back leg forward and squared up. The uppercut will be coming sooner than later.
And both have vicious uppercuts because that's the punch that Gualtieri dropped Esquiva Falcao in his world championship fight to win the world title his last time out. But his power does not compare to Janibek Alimkhanuly.
Well, he caught him and he hurt him because it was a punch he didn't see. It came from underneath. You know, the uppercut, Gualtieri is reactive. So if you put enough pressure on him, if you're close enough, he's going to release those uppercuts. And they're quick, they're accurate, and to the point.
The other thing that Gualtieri tends to do is walk with his hands low, and you're seeing it there. For moments, he picks them up, puts them out as earmuffs, but there's opportunities for Janibek when he walks like that with those hands low to connect. Good defense there from Gualtieri as he get those hands back up as Alimkhanuly was shooting that right, but that jab in the left cross get in.
There it is. You know, this round, Janibek is just taking his time. Taking his time. He doesn't feel threatened at all. He's bagging up Gualtieri even with his feints. Gualtieri has definitely felt that power. And he doesn't want to get hit cleanly. That's the reason why he's playing defense right now. He wants Janibek to wear down just a little bit so that way he can start working. But Janibek is so good with his range. So good with his range. Takes a half a step back right there to land that left hand.
Gualtieri trying to goad Alimkhanuly into making a mistake. As Janibek misses with that long uppercut, thinking he's Emmanuel Navarrete for a second. Round one of this middleweight title unification is in the books. In our fighter meetings, Janibek Alimkhanuly told us, you haven't seen the best Janibek because I haven't seen the best opponent. None of my opponents have been on my level. Tonight, Vincenzo Gualtieri wants to change that in this unification bout, as one of these two men will either go back to Kazakhstan or Germany holding 2 belts.
Gualtieri right now, he's looking for an opportunity to rush in, to get close, to close the gap right now. Janibek right now is holding his ground, using his jab, using that up jab, trying to split the guard of Gualtieri.
You saw the promo for October 28th. The baddest man on the planet, Tyson Fury or Francis Ngannou. One is the lineal heavyweight champion, the other, the MMA champion at heavyweight. Tonight we're going to find out who the baddest man at 160 pounds is, Alimkhanuly or Gualtieri.
Janibek now is looking for that uppercut. He's sitting on that back foot, keeping his head back towards his back foot. And he's looking to entice Gualtieri. He wants him to get a little aggressive. Gualtieri's not taking the bait. He's taking his time.
Gualtieri understands his identity as a fighter.
See that uppercut?
Here, but that uppercut from Janibek follows it up with a left to the liver.
But Gualtieri also threw an uppercut, a right uppercut, right in between. Just slipped past the head of Janibek.
He's got to make Janibek respect him, because if not, he's going to walk right through him.
Well, what Janibek can do is pick up his jab. Both fighters can pick up their jab. You know, that space in between, there's not much going on. Those are opportunities for you to win that battle, to give your opponent something, get him to worry about something. Then that way you can lead up your counters like that. See, flick jabs, throw some bait out there. You want him to try to commit and counter and just lay a trap for him.
Nice body shot from Janibek, straight to the solar plexus.
That was nice right there. I like that right hand and the quick forward shift by Gualtieri to get in the inside and land a few shots. See, Southpaw versus Orthodox, you know, a lot of times you hear about the left foot outside, lead foot dominance, yes. And a lot of times you don't hear people that they say, that, you know, don't move to your right. You can move to your right when you have the proper space or distance. There's not a problem. You just can't move one way and be predictable. You know, you can move both ways. But again, it's all about having the right range, being outside.
But you mentioned in your lab, Tim, as you see that double jab from Alimkhanuly, how good the Kazakh fighter is at closing those gaps. And that's the challenge that Gualtieri is facing here as round 2 comes to an end. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. All right, when you get a southpaw and an orthodox fighter, Tim, you were explaining the importance of that lead foot. And Janibek's already using it to his advantage here early in this fight.
Yeah, but sometimes your feet get too close. You step on the foot of your opponent. Now, I don't know if that was purposely done right there by Janibek. It was twice in a row right there. But I would assume that it was probably done purposely.
After the second and the third time?
Yes.
I would think so, Tim.
Yeah, keep your man still.
There, now, Gualtieri says, oh, I can do the same thing with my big old size 12.
But you know what happens, though? So you step on the fighter's shoe right there, as you keep seeing Janibek doing. You see the referee's not paying attention to it. Now what happens is if Janibek hits him with a shot, but it's not a clean shot, and he goes down, now that's unfair.
That is.
So the referee has to pay attention to that.
There is no instant replay here.
So that was the counter.
So Tim, that's interesting because it could happen that it looks like a knockdown, but it actually isn't, and it's counted as one. But Janibek finally lands that left uppercut after doubling up the jab, as Brian Viloria, his new trainer, asked him to do right before round 3.
Again, Janibek is staying patient, but now what he's doing is he's countering the counter. So he's getting a flick jab out there, flicking it out there, getting him to look at it, and he knows that Gualtieri's trying to counter, and when he does counter, he makes him miss it, and he comes right back with his offense. So a lot of back and forth right here from Janibek.
You don't get to win 300 amateur fights without having boxing skill. And when you have power like Janibek shows there, it gets overlooked.
Yep. And right now he has Gualtieri a little spooked. He doesn't want to commit. Gualtieri usually will commit. Janibek is too good at controlling the distance, and he doesn't want to walk into anything. But there's going to come a time where Gualtieri's going to have to sell out because he's losing these rounds. And when he does sell out, that's what Janibek is waiting on. He's waiting on him to sell out and get over-aggressive so that way he can catch it with a kill shot.
It's pick your poison against Janibek Alimkhanuly. Do you want to slowly be punished, or do you just want to be sent home quickly?
Yes, and right there, Janibek is just catching him in the slip, actually catching him changing positions, going from the southpaw to the orthodox stance, squaring up. And Janibek was waiting on that. That is something that you work on in the gym, and that was something that he alluded to in the fighter meeting. He said, oh, yeah, when he's in this switch, he's not set. I'm going to catch him.
You see a little bit of swelling and some bruising under the left eye of Vincenzo Gualtieri here early in round 3. And it's that jab that's just doing damage. It's a piston that Alimkhanuly sticks out there. It's not just a measuring jab. Back inside the Fort Bend epicenter, Janibek Alimkhanuly and Vincenzo Gualtieri as we start round 4. Mark Kriegel, your unofficial scorecard after 3.
I don't want to break too much news, but I got a 3-0 for Janibek. This might be an actually interesting fight, but for one thing.
Ooh, there's a nice
Gualtieri got to throw some punches. There he goes.
Well, Alimkhanuly is the one who landed not only a left cross, but also a body shot. So Alimkhanuly, when Gualtieri tried to open up, made him pay.
Shoot, I mean, I thought that Jamel Charlo was bad. My goodness, Alimkhanuly. What is up with these champions not coming to fight? What is the problem? Come to fight.
You think Gualtieri didn't come to fight, you mean?
I mean, right now he's trying to survive. He ain't fighting.
Well, Janibek's going to say, I'm going to make sure you don't finish this fight on your feet. We knew Gualtieri does not have the punching power, and when you mention the fact that you got to throw your hands, he's thrown 46 compared to 117 for Janibek Alimkhanuly. That's just not going to cut it.
What did I tell you? I told you somebody's fool's gold. And right now, you know who's looking like fool's gold right now? Look, you can be a champion, but that doesn't make you a great fighter. You know, you can get lucky. You can fight the right opponent. They match you up right. You have a good day. But then when you get in there's levels to this game. That's what it is. And that's what Gualtieri's experiencing right now. There's levels. Janibek's is levels ahead of him. Or above him, I should say.
Gualtieri had 100 amateur fights, won 72 of those. Janibek 307 losses to go with that. So you could see the difference in pedigree. Nice jab from Alimkhanuly, who takes a left from Gualtieri. And that should make him think, look, I can hit Alimkhanuly. So why not try it?
You don't want that counter. Them shots are hard, Bernardo. They're sharp, they're quick, they're accurate, they're on the money. And they sting. See, that's the Cuban style right there. That's what you're seeing from Gualtieri with those hands down, trying to be elusive, trying to move his head. But Janibek is timing it perfectly with his jab. Oh, he hurt him with that shot.
Janibek trying to find his range, trying to find that moment to unleash on Gualtieri. And we talk about Janibek making his punches count. He usually lands 36% of his power punches. Tonight he's at 54%, and that is not a number that Il Capo Gualtieri wants Jan Alimkhanuly to be around if he's gonna finish this fight on his feet. In the corner of Vincenzo Gualtieri, Frankie Saldama said, you're getting hit unnecessarily because you're not listening to me. You need to feint. And then on Janibek's corner, Brian Valoria, in their first fight together, says, stay the course. Don't allow him to get on track.
Yeah, because the minute you give Gualtieri confidence, that's when he gets confident. He starts letting his hands go. He starts feeling himself a bit. You know, you never want to let a guy gain confidence and fight his fight. And Janibek is fighting a disciplined fight right now, but I want to see later on in the fight if he can step on the gas a little bit and try to get Gualtieri up out of there. take a little bit more chances because Gualtieri's not a big puncher. He's not a big puncher. You can use defense, you can catch and shoot. There's a lot of different things that you can do to mount your attack.
But Hanala's staying disciplined behind that stick. That jab is causing trouble not only under the left eye of Gualtieri, but there's also a slight scrape on the bridge of the nose of Vincenzo Gualtieri. There's that jab and that left cross from Alimkhanuly.
This is brutal. This is brutal. Like, you being a fighter in the ring, you got two hands just like the other man, and you can't lay a finger on him. Demoralizing.
Because when you take a risk, Alimkhanuly makes you
yes.
pay.
Brutal. You just know that you're outskilled and ain't nothing you can do about it. And you're just trying to buy your time and get through the fight.
Yeah, but here with Gualtieri, he understands he doesn't have the punching power to neutralize. Sometimes you can get beat a lot of rounds and you have that equalizer. Gualtieri does not possess that in his arsenal.
Yeah, you're right. But I didn't have a whole lot of punching power either.
Ooh, that uppercut hurts Gualtieri as he reels back. Alimkhanuly is in finish the fight mode, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here in round number 5. But what a great recovery from Gualtieri.
Moved his feet, bought himself some time. Trying to clear his head. He was buzzed for a split second. Gualtieri, he's in shape because he's recovered quickly right now, but he's still not out of the woods. Janibek looking to line him up again for a big shot.
Gualtieri finally.
See, Janibek got to stay still. What Janibek needs to do, if he wants to get this, he needs to stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Weather the storm. Look to punch in between the shots of Gualtieri because he gets wide with his punches.
That uppercut is a damaging punch from Janibek Alimkhanuly, and so is that right hook to the body.
Did you see that arm go down?
Yep.
That elbow? Tucked it real quick.
Gualtieri earned himself another round here in Texas.
Thing. Oh, my goodness.
We're inside the Fort Bend epicenter here in Rosenberg, Texas. So new that we could smell the paint, but Janibek is denting the paint.
Beautiful
off
up
of
jab.
Gualtieri.
That's a pull. That's a pull counter right there. With that jab first, step back, boom, swept with the left hook, with the right hook, brought him right near that uppercut. Ha! Beautiful shot. That's beautiful stuff right there. You know, those shots are not lucky shots. Those shots are set up and planned well before he actually lands them.
Well, you've been talking about Alimkhanuly setting up Gualtieri since the first round, but he's paying it off here. And in the corner, Brian Valoria was telling Alimkhanuly, I need you to follow up with that left hand. He's there for it. Just throw it.
Well, what he said was that he's no longer moving. He's staying there. You know, he's shielding up, going into that high guard, and you can split that guard with an uppercut or a straight left hand.
Or stick the jab triple time. I was pretty impressed with Gualtieri being able to recover from that left uppercut because it looked like he was going down, just like he's about to go down now. He protects himself. He almost took a knee.
He's never been down, and he's never been stopped in his entire career. Gualtieri
may change tonight, but he's showing the will that he said he had. But this is not the place you want to be against Janibek Alimkhanuly, as referee Fields is just about to step in. The next big shot that Alimkhanuly lands on Gualtieri, I think David Fields will stop this fight. The legs are buckled and no reason to receive any more punishment, as Janibek Alimkhanuly is the unified middleweight champion of the world, taking the IBF belt from Vincenzo Gualtieri.
What they say, light work, no reaction. No, this is how you systematically break down your opponent. Alimkhanuly just took his time, setting up his jab, using his feints, just keeping Gualtieri on the end of his punch. Setting traps like that. I mean, he landed right there high on his head, splitting that guard, handed high on his head, and you saw the reaction. It's beautiful work. See that jab that he's throwing it up and in between the guards right there. He's blinding them, and he's coming behind with that straight left hand, looping left hand right there, high on the head. and you see Gualtieri ducking, you know, the body language. Just look at the body language. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to take any more punishment. And I'm glad that the referee stepped in to stop the action because it could have got real ugly.
That was how it ended, but Vincenzo Gualtieri took an uppercut that almost put him down, but it was the beginning of the end of this fight. Let's take a look at that one, Tim.
Let's see how he set it up. Stepped in behind the jab, and what? There it is. Left uppercut, perfectly timed, just a pull counter. That's all it is. Flick jab, pull counter. Caught him with the uppercut, rushed right in. Now the effect, double impact. He's coming in, bringing his weight in, and he's setting him up for that trap with a loaded backhand uppercut.
Double impact for Janibek Alimkhanuly. We'll be back with the official time of the stoppage, and we'll speak with the new unified champion in the middleweight division, Janibek Alimkhanuly, right here from Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Fort Bend Epicenter in Rosenberg, Texas, referee David Fields calls a stop to this bout at 1 minute, 25 seconds of round number 6. For your winner by technical knockout, and now the WBO and IBF middleweight champion of the world, Janibek Kazakhstan Alimkhanuly.
125 of round number 6. That is the moment that Janibek Alimkhanuly will remember forever. The day he became the unified champion.